Rising from the tidal flats of Normandy, France, like a mirage made of stone, sits one of the most stunning sights in the entire world. This is Mont Saint-Michel. For 1,000 years, it has defied gravity, the ocean, and the very definition of what is possible to build. It is a holy island that becomes part of the mainland only when the tide goes out. But how did this impossible structure come to be? The story begins not with engineering, but with a dream. In the 8th century, this was just a barren rock known as Mont Saint-Michel. Legend says the Archangel Michael appeared to a local bishop, Abbey, demanding a church be built on the rock's highest point. The bishop hesitated until the angel famously burned a hole in Abbey's skull with his finger as a not-so-subtle reminder. A small sanctuary was built in 708 AD. Miracles were reported, and soon, pilgrims began changing the landscape forever. By the year 966, the Duke of Normandy installed Benedictine monks, and the massive undertaking of building the Abbey began. Building here was a nightmare. To support the massive church at the peak, they had to build crypts underneath to create a level platform. The mount is a pyramid of feudal society. God and the Abbey at the top, the great halls for nobles below, and the soldiers and villagers at the base. In the 13th century, a fire led to the construction of La Merveille, or the Marvel, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture. Unlike the heavy Romanesque stone below, the Gothic section is airy and light, seeming to defy the weight of the stone itself. The most beautiful space is the cloister. It is a serene garden suspended in the sky, designed for the monk's silent meditation. Crowning the absolute highest spire is the golden statue of Saint Michael, sword raised to the sky, acting as a spiritual lightning rod. Getting materials up here was grueling. They used a giant treadwheel crane, powered by prisoners walking inside it like hamsters. The Mont wasn't just a church, it was a fortress. During the 100 Years' War, the English tried repeatedly to capture it, and failed every time. Its defenses were so tough that it became a symbol of French national identity and resistance during the darkest times of the war. But after the French Revolution, the monks were expelled. The abbey fell into ruin and was converted into a brutal prison. Nicknamed the Bastille of the Seas, it held political prisoners in terrible conditions for nearly 100 years. It wasn't until the Romantic movement of the 1800s, led by writers like Victor Hugo, that the prison was closed and restoration began. But the greatest defense of the Mont has always been nature itself. The bay has some of the highest tides in all of Europe. The water level can rise by 14 meters, the height of a 4-story building, transforming the landscape twice a day. It's said the tide rushes in at the speed of a galloping horse. While an exaggeration, it is dangerously fast, trapping unwary travelers for centuries. For decades, a solid road connected the island, causing silt to build up and threatening to make it part of the mainland forever. A massive hydraulic project removed that road, replacing it with an elegant bridge that allows the water to flow freely underneath. Today, visiting feels like stepping back in time. You enter through the ancient gates into the bustling lower village. The main street, the Grande Rue, is narrow, crowded, and lined with medieval houses, souvenir shops, and restaurants. Don't forget to try the famous, fluffy omelets of La Mère Poulard, a tradition here since the 19th century. The real journey is the climb. It's a steep ascent up the Grand Degre staircase to reach the Abbey entrance. Once inside the Abbey church, the noise of the village fades away, replaced by the cold silence of centuries of prayer. You wander through great halls where kings were entertained, and dark crypts that held the secrets of the monastery. Finally, you emerge onto the high terraces, offering breathtaking panoramic views of the bay towards Brittany and Normandy. Mont Saint-Michel is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, welcoming over 3 million awestruck visitors every single year. It is more than just old stones. It is a testament to human ambition, spiritual devotion, and the sheer stubbornness to build where nature said no. Whether seen at high tide surrounded by the sea, or at low tide rising from the endless sand, it remains a magical place. It is a wonder of the West, a dream that has stood firm against the tides of history for 1,000 years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey to Mont Saint-Michel, Please like and subscribe for more adventures into history's greatest places.